But anyway, here we are, and we are just cruising along here. Our 3-hour busy broadcast program already into the third hour. Ted Cruz apparently is worried. The Texas primary is today. And apparently, folks, there's a what? That's what I said. What I said the primary's yesterday? Well, no, it can't be yesterday because this is Tuesday. Primaries are never on Monday. Texas primary is today. And the drive-bys are telling us it's a blue wave. The drive-bys are telling us that the early voting in Texas is practically 75% Democrat. The drive-bys are telling us that by the time we get to November, Cruz is gone, Abbott's gone, any Republicans gone, and Texas is going to go blue in November. The drive-bys are telling us that Democrats are energized. They are energized by hatred for Trump, disgust for Trump. They are energized, and the Republicans are not. The Republicans are sitting at home. They don't care because as far as they're concerned, they won in 2016. And there's no reason to be upset. And so Texas is going to go blue in 2018 and in 2020. This is what the drive-bys are saying. Ted Cruz is saying, yeah, it could happen. Now, Ted Cruz is up for re-election in November, and he's got some serious opposition. And he's out there warning everybody, look, do not take, on the Republican side, do not take anything for granted. But don't you just love the premise here? Let me establish the premise for you. The Democrats all over this country, they are energized. They are mobilized. They can't wait to get out and vote because they hate Trump. And they despise what happened to Hillary. And they despise the Russians stealing the election from Hillary. They don't care that Hillary stole it from Bernie. They care that the Russians stole it from Hillary. And they hate Trump. And they just can't wait to show up and vote against Trump. And voting against Trump means voting for Democrats. And they can't wait. They've never been more energized. They have never been more mobilized. They have never been more ready. We can't keep them out of the polling places. They are so excited. Meanwhile, Republicans are sitting at home, already feeling defeated, thinking there's no reason to vote because there's no hope stopping this blue wave. The Republicans have conceded that Trump was a gigantic error. The Republicans have conceded that Trump was a stupid mistake and it's something they really feel bad for, and they do think the Democrats deserve to win everything back because of how screwed up the country is that Trump won. That's the picture being portrayed. Democrats can't wait to vote. Oh, man, it's like the Kentucky Derby, and they're held there behind those cages until that buzzer goes off, and they just can't wait. Meanwhile, the Republicans are so scared and so intimidated, they're barely able to leave their houses for fear of being bullied and shouted down and blamed and called names and being told they're the reason the country sucks. Republicans know they're the reason the country sucks. Republicans know they're the reason Trump got elected. They know that's why everybody in the country's unhappy, and so they know the Democrats deserve to win, and they're going to stand aside. They have lost interest in Trump. Trump's not doing anything for them. They know they made him. That's the narrative. You disagree with me? What are you laughing at? That's the narrative. If you turn on the news every day, that's the picture you're having painted for you. If you go look at Drudge, the gigantic map of Texas, all blue, and it says Dems rising, record primary turnout in Texas, ? Subhead Cruz fears blue wave. Even Drudge. And he's just linking to the stories that say all that. And when you get to other places, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, oh, that's where the Republicans really feel bad. Republicans are suffering so much guilt. The Republicans know that they screwed up big time by electing Trump. They know it. And they know that Trump colluded with Russia. And they know that Putin's on the verge of running this country. And they know that the only salvation that we have is Hillary Clinton, maybe Oprah. And that's it. If we don't do something and get rid of Trump today or tomorrow or the day after that, then we don't want to contemplate what's going to happen. It's that bad, and the Republicans know it. The Republicans know they're to blame, and the Republicans know they're supposed to shut up. They're not supposed to make speeches. They're not supposed to go to college campuses. They're not even supposed to vote. Republicans know the Democrats should have won in 2016, and to make up for the fact that they didn't, the Democrats are going to win this year and in 2020. And that, my friends, is your news narrative for today and the rest of the year. So what are you going to do about it? Are you sitting at home, quaking in fear, cowering in your corner, wearing your cowboy boots to kick excrement into the corners just to get it out of the way because it's everywhere? Are you laden with guilt? Are you laden and overwhelmed with pessimism and fear because you know that you made this mess? Because that's what they want you to think. But more importantly, that's what they want you to think the rest of the country thinks about you. They want you to believe that the majority of people in this country really hate you. Not just Trump, they hate you. And they can't wait. They can't wait to see you crying and begging for forgiveness on election night in November. They can't wait. The media's already got it all planned out. How the Republicans are going to be effectively destroyed forever election night, November of this year. It's coming, and it's just a matter of time. They probably already have the Trump-Russia collusion story they're going to run 5 days before the election picked out. There are going to be numerous stories this year on Christopher Steele, how he's been unfairly abused and maligned, how his life has been put on the line simply for being a great patriot. But they're going to rehab him. They're going to resuscitate him. And he may end up being somebody's vice presidential nominee if they can do something about the Constitution that prohibits that. And then after that, they're going to go over and blow up the UK and put Brexit back on the back burner. And then they're going to go to Italy, and they're going to make, you heard, populist conservatives just ran the table in Italy in national elections there. Liberals and socialists were sent packing. Of course, the drive-bys are not telling you about that particular story. But that is the sum total of the aura or of the, they call it the narrative, but that's the picture that they're painting. And it's not just Texas. It's everywhere. Meanwhile, on the ground in Realville, the Democrats still have not won a special election for the House since the presidential election of 2016. Democrats have won some elections in statewide races and local races in Democrat areas. There have been a couple of areas where Trump won big that the Republican lost, but they have been local and statewide. And those elections are being touted by the drive-bys as the indicator. That's where the truth lies. It's just we're on the cusp here of the biggest blue wave you've ever seen, they say. It's pretty much what they told us was going to happen in November 2016. Hillary is going to win by one of the biggest landslides in the history of landslides. Because, of course, nobody was going to vote for Trump. The Access Hollywood video alone took care of that. There wasn't a soul going to vote for Trump. Look at the polls. The closest Trump was in the polls is 8 points. It's Hillary in a walk. It's, even though she can't stand up for the walk, it's Hillary in a walk. Hillary in a landslide. Hillary in a seizure will still win. And up to 8 o'clock on election night, they all thought that. And now they're repeating their history. And it's all based on what? What they think the natural order should be. And that all of this is just some kind of odd, unusual aberration. It's like Rod Serling came back and invoked the Twilight Zone on all of us for like a couple of years. But then Rod Serling is going to leave and say joke's over and everything's going to return to normal with Democrats in power and Republicans begging forgiveness. There are even stories, I have one in the stack today, about how Mitch McConnell is purposely sabotaging Trump's reelection bid by stonewalling Trump's judicial nominees, making sure Trump doesn't get all the nominees that he has chosen. And the reason and the way Mitch is doing this, according to the story, is that McConnell is not requiring anybody in the Senate to work more than 2 days a week, which frees the Democrats up for all that time to go back home and campaign and to raise money. And if Mitch McConnell, if he really cared, he would keep the Senate in session. He would make work get done. He would start working on passing the Trump agenda, the DACA stuff, whatever it is, making sure Democrats cannot go home and raise money and run their reelection efforts. But Mitch McConnell is not doing that. He's only requiring them to show up 2 days a week, freeing them up, the Democrats, to go home, raise money, campaign against Republicans and Trump. Right here it is. It's in the Daily Caller, Chatsworth Osborne Jr. Emeritus's site, and it's by Christopher Bedford, How a Pathetic Republican Party is Allowing the Resistance to Run the Score and the Government. Here's the basic premise. Senate Republicans are heading toward midterm elections with control of their chamber and the biggest advantage any majority party has had since 1970. Yet every week, the Democrats are allowed to work just 2.5 days before going home to duke it out with their Republican challengers. That is, Mitch McConnell is allowing Democrats to hit the campaign trail hard while obstructing 139 of the president's nominees. In 8 months, 8 Republican seats and 26 Democrat seats are up for grabs in the Senate. Now, you all know this because we've talked about this a lot, how the Democrats in the Senate have a real tough road this year because they got to defend 26 seats. Republicans only have to defend 8. But if you listen to the drive-by media, the Democrats are going to win all 26 of those of their incumbents, and they're going to win 5 to 6 Republican seats. And the Democrats are going to be close to 55, 56 seats. And the Democrats are going to take the House. And then Trump's going to be impeached and he's gone. And then every one of you who voted for Trump, they're going to come and get your guns. When you account for travel, according to the story here, that's a full 4 days working from home that these Democrats are being given the opportunity to engage in. Speaking with constituents, attending meetings, cutting ribbons, raising money. In other words, campaigning, making the case that their Republican challenger should be defeated and they should be reelected. Executive governance, is out of style. On Friday, while 26 Democrats, Senate, poorly written. Let me read it. On Friday, while 26 Senate Democrats up for re-election went home to their states or elsewhere to speak and raise money, 139 of the White House's nominees languished in positions from Undersecretary for Arms Control and International Security Affairs to Director of the National Counterintelligence and Security Center. According to the Senate rules, Democrats and their Republican enablers love to cite they have to wait 30 hours after ending debate. This has turned into 3 or so nominees confirmed a week, averaging 79 days a nominee, with McConnell himself griping that at this rate it'll take 11 years to confirm Trump's nominees. That's 3 weeks longer than the average for Obama, whose appointees form the backbone of the resistance inside our federal government today. The deep state that liberals in the media like to pretend is some kind of hallucination. His point here is that McConnell is, I won't go so far as to use the word sabotage, but McConnell is enabling the Democrat victory while putting the brakes on the confirmation of Trump nominees, which gives rise to the age-old complaint that the Republicans have a lot of people on their side that don't like Trump either. And we'll be back. Sit tight. Okay, Ralph in Tampa, you're going to be next, but after the break. I don't want to shortchange you here, Ralph. Ralph's watching the History Channel out there and noted a special on Vladimir Putin. We'll have to talk about that in just a second. I just got an email. Dear Mr. Limbaugh, I wish I could be as glib as you on the off-year elections, but I can't be. Was I being glib? Anyway, I think, Mr. Limbaugh, we are going to get hammered. I think we're going to get hammered back to minorities, up and down tickets. I think the Democrats are going to win enough that they're going to take back everything that matters. Mostly because the Republicans are their usual feckless selves. And they are not telling the story of success. The Democrats have nothing to run on but pure hate. And that is a strong motivator, especially when the GOP plays dead. Okay, I get the point of it. Let me ask, in my own glib manner, a question. If you have to tell the story of success, is it success? No, don't misunderstand. I realize that you can run PR campaigns and convince things of people that aren't true. Like you can convince people that television shows are the most watched when it isn't. But if you have overwhelming success, do you have to tell people it's happening?